Top of the morning to ya laddies, my name is Penguin X and welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving headfirst into a game that I feel, to this day, doesn't get nearly enough love. We're talking about the absolute gem that is Sleeping Dogs. This game, man, it came out of nowhere and just blew everyone away. It's this incredible, open-world action-adventure set in Hong Kong, where you play as an undercover cop trying to take down the triads from the inside. It's got everything: intense martial arts, high-speed chases, a story that grabs you and doesn't let go. It's just brilliant. Now, as much as I adore this game, and trust me, I really do, no game is perfect. It's got its quirks, its little rough edges, just like any of us. So today we're going to do a proper deep dive. We're going to put on our detective hats just like our main man Wei Shun and investigate everything. We'll be breaking down all the glorious high-kicking pros that make this game a must-play. But we're also going to get real and talk about the cons, the bits that maybe haven't aged as gracefully. It's going to be a full, honest look at the masterpiece. So grab your pork buns, get ready to sing some bad karaoke, and let's get into it. We're going to explore the neon-soaked streets of Hong Kong and figure out exactly why Sleeping Dogs is a game that you absolutely need to experience, warts and all. We're going to break down the good, the bad, and the downright awesome. Is it the most underrated open-world game of all time? Well, let's find out together. Let's do this. Right, let's kick things off with the good stuff. And believe me, there is so much good stuff to talk about. The first thing, the absolute standout feature that you have to talk about with Sleeping Dogs, is its story, and its main character, Wei Shun. This isn't just your standard go here, do this open world plot. It's a proper, gritty, emotional crime drama that feels like it was ripped straight out of a classic Hong Kong action movie like Infernal Affairs. You're constantly torn between your duty as a cop and the genuine bonds you're forming with the gang members you're supposed to be taking down. It's brilliant. The narrative tension is just... you feel Wei's conflict every step of the way. He's trying to maintain his cover, but the lines get so blurry. He starts to care about these people, his childhood friends who are now part of the Sun On Yi triad. The game does an incredible job of making you question everything. Are you doing the right thing? Are the cops any better than the criminals? It's deep, it's compelling, and the voice acting is absolutely top tier, which just pulls you in even further. It's a story that sticks with you long after you finish the game. And how do you interact with that story? Oh, only through some of the most satisfying combat mechanics you'll ever find in a game. This isn't just about mashing buttons. The martial arts system is a thing of beauty. It's fluid, it's brutal, and it's so incredibly cinematic. You're stringing together combos, countering attacks, and using the environment to your advantage. You can grab a dude and slam his face into a shutter, or shove him into a phone booth, or even toss him into an industrial fan. It's visceral, and makes every single fight feel like a scene from a Jackie Chan movie. The environmental takedowns are just pure, unadulterated fun. The game actively encourages you to be creative with your beatdowns. See that swordfish mounted on the wall? Yep, you can impale a guy with it. That sizzling hot wok on the stove? You bet you can shove someone's face in it. It never gets old. Every fight location becomes a playground of painful possibilities, and discovering all the unique ways to dispatch your enemies is a massive part of the joy. It's a system that feels simple to learn, but has enough depth to remain engaging for the entire game. Then there's the world itself, Hong Kong. This isn't just a generic city map, it feels alive. It's a vibrant, bustling, and incredibly atmospheric setting. The developers, United Front Games, did such a fantastic job of capturing the essence of the city. From the packed night markets with vendors shouting in Cantonese to the rain-slicked neon streets, the world is dripping with personality. Just driving around listening to the in-game radio stations that mix cantopop with classical music and rock is an experience in itself. It feels authentic. The level of detail is staggering. You'll see people haggling at stalls, monks walking down the street, and businessmen rushing to their next meeting. The city is divided into distinct districts, each with its own unique feel, from the bustling shopping areas of Central to the grittier back alleys of Aberdeen. The world doesn't just feel like a backdrop for the missions, it feels like a character in its own right. It's a world you want to get lost in, exploring every nook and cranny just to soak up the atmosphere. The driving mechanics also deserve a shout-out. While maybe not as refined as a dedicated racing game, they are arcadey and incredibly fun. Weaving through the dense traffic of Hong Kong at high speeds is a thrill, and the action hijack move, where you leap from your moving vehicle onto another, is one of the coolest things you can do in any open-world game, period. It's pure, cinematic, over-the-top action that perfectly fits the game's tone and makes car chases an absolute blast rather than a chore. Finally, the side activities. Unlike some games where they feel like filler, a lot of the side content in Sleeping Dogs is genuinely fun and adds to the world building. You can get into illegal street races, participate in fight clubs, do favors for your triad buddies, go on dates, and even sing karaoke, which is hilariously bad and utterly charming. These activities help you earn money, face, and police experience, but more importantly, they make you feel more embedded in the world of Wei Shun, living his double life to the fullest. Alright, let's be fair. As much as I've been gushing about this game, it's time to look at the other side of the coin. No game is without its flaws, and Sleeping Dogs definitely has a few things that could have been better or haven't aged particularly well. The most obvious one, especially if you're playing the original version and not the definitive edition, is the graphics. By today's standards, they are certainly dated. Character models can look a bit blocky, and some of the textures are noticeably low-res. While the art style and atmosphere are timeless, the technical fidelity is a product of its era, the Xbox 360 and PS3 generation. The definitive edition on newer consoles and PC does a lot to clean this up with better lighting, higher resolution textures, and a denser world, but it can't completely hide its last-gen roots. Some of the animations outside of combat can be a bit stiff, and you'll occasionally see some classic open-world jank like NPCs walking into walls or cars popping in out of nowhere. It's not game-breaking, but it's noticeable. Another point of criticism, and this is a common one for the genre, is the repetitiveness of some of the side content. While I praised the side activities earlier, not all of them are created equal. The drug bust missions, for example, are fun the first few times. You beat up a group of thugs, hack a camera, and arrest the leader. But after you've done 10 of them, they all start to blend together. The formula doesn't change much, and it can start to feel like a bit of a grind to complete them all for that 100% completion. This repetition extends to some of the open-world collectibles as well. Hunting down every single health shrine or lockbox can become tedious. While they provide useful upgrades, the act of finding them often just involves staring at your minimap and driving to an icon, which can pull you out of the immersive world the game works so hard to build. It feels like a bit of a checklist, a classic open-world design trope that the game could have perhaps innovated on a little more. It's a small gripe, but it can make the mid to late game feel a little padded out. Let's talk about the gunplay. The game's main focus is clearly on its incredible hand-to-hand combat, and it excels at that. However, when guns are introduced, things take a bit of a nosedive. The shooting mechanics feel functional at best. It's a basic third-person cover shooter system that lacks the weight, impact, and fluidity of the martial arts. Aiming can feel a bit floaty, and the enemy AI during shootouts isn't particularly clever. The game even seems to know this, often incorporating a slow-motion John Woo-style effect when you vault over cover to make it more exciting. These shooting sections are thankfully not the majority of the game, but when they do pop up, they feel like the weakest part of the combat experience. They break the incredible flow of the melee fighting and feel like a concession to genre expectations rather than a fully fleshed-out mechanic. You find yourself just wanting to get through the shootout so you can get back to drop-kicking guys into car trunks. It's a noticeable dip in quality compared to the sheer brilliance of the fisticuffs. The camera can also be a bit of a nuisance at times, especially during combat. When you're fighting in tight enclosed spaces like alleyways or small rooms, the camera can sometimes get stuck on the scenery or swing into an awkward angle, obscuring your view of an incoming attack. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it can lead to some frustrating moments where you take a hit you couldn't even see coming. It's a classic problem in third-person action games, and Sleeping Dogs, unfortunately, doesn't quite manage to solve it completely. Finally, and this is a minor point, some of the mission design can feel a little linear. For an open-world game that gives you so much freedom, many of the main story missions funnel you down a very specific path. Go here, trigger cutscene, fight these guys, drive to this location, trigger another cutscene. There aren't a huge number of opportunities to approach objectives in different ways. The how is usually locked in, even if the where is in an open world. It doesn't ruin the experience thanks to the strong narrative, but a little more player agency in how missions were completed would have been welcome. So there you have it, the good, the bad, and the beautifully brutal. When you lay it all out, the verdict for me is crystal clear. The pros of sleeping dogs don't just outweigh the cons, they beat them into a pulp, stuff them in the trunk of a car and drive them off a pier. Yes, the graphics are a bit old and some missions get a little samey, but those are just tiny cracks in what is otherwise a towering skyscraper of a game. The things that Sleeping Dogs does well, it does with more style, heart, and charisma than almost any other game in its genre. The story of Wei Shen is genuinely one of the best in gaming, a gripping tale of loyalty and betrayal that will have you on the edge of your seat. The world of Hong Kong is a character in itself, a neon-drenched playground that is an absolute joy to exist in. And that combat, my god, the combat. It is without a doubt one of the most satisfying and downright fun melee systems ever created. It's a game that had a troubled development, getting cancelled by one publisher before being saved by another, and that passion, that feeling of being the underdog, shines through in the final product. If you have never played this game, you are doing yourself a massive disservice. It is an absolute must-play. It's a love letter to Hong Kong cinema, a brilliant open-world adventure, and a game with a soul. So please go and check it out. It's available on basically everything now, and it goes on sale all the time. You will not regret it. But that is going to do it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, punch that like button in the face like a boss, and high fives all round. I will see all you dudes in the next video.